Welcome to the Demo Days. Great to have you with us. Those who have been following us earlier today know already Aebi Schmidt. If we count the years of experience of all of our, meanwhile, 10 brands in the group, we come to a number which is above 1,400 years. The origin of our products dates back to 1857. Today, the Aebi Schmidt Group is a global player manufacturing in 14 plants across the globe and has almost 3,000 employees. We are driven day by day to develop intelligent and reliable solutions and to offer a first-class service, ultimately for our customers to enable them improving their operations and performance. And the outcome of that ambition we'd like to present to you now. In the next 30 minutes, we will not speak directly about the machines and equipment, but we will present to you how you get even more out of your machines with our digital solutions and our service packaging. In other words, how it can keep you operationally even safer, how our solutions can take quite a bit of work off your hands as a fleet or operations manager. A note beforehand, if you want to ask us a question, you can do so. You have a little speech bubble on the lower end of your video screen. Click on it, post your question. We will try to answer the question live during the presentation, and if not, we'll get back to you bilaterally after the event. So, that's for the introduction. Next to me is Benedikt Schuster. Benedikt Schuster is our head of head group digital solutions, of course. And Benedikt, you'll show what's behind that thing we call IntelliOps, right?
Yes, that is correct. So yeah, thank you very much for the introduction, Thomas, and also warm welcome from my side. So we hear a lot in the last 2-3 years from many of our customers, being it municipalities, being it contractors, being it airport customers, that they face these typical topics like the digitalization and also the efficiency improvement which they need to bring. And I think we heard also today a couple of times that Aebi Schmidt is a solution provider. So I think we can also in that regard really help you as our customers with reaching these topics like digitalization and efficiency improvements. Today I would like to introduce you to our telematics platform IntelliOps. And this is really a tool to help you in your day-to-day operations. And I'm sure you also heard that motto before. So if you cannot measure it, you cannot improve. So our platform IntelliOps offers you exactly this. So first to measure, and then as a second step to improve. And if we now look at the screen to my right, we see actually the map-based view of the system. And you see here also already the Swingo with this button here and our demo driver Daniel driving around. And if you click on that vehicle, you can actually see some key parts of the information. You see, for example, what's the remaining fuel range of the tank. This is, of course, the same for an electric vehicle. You see the remaining range of the battery. You see the average consumption of fuel of that vehicle per hour. And you see also if the machine is driving, on what speed the machine is driving. On the top, you see many different tabs. So in general, the IntelliOps platform has many different functionalities. But today I would really only focus on 2 of them to bring that to our viewers. So the first one is the live monitoring of the machine fleet which you have. And the second one is the evaluation of your historical operations data. And the live tab is the live monitoring here on top. If you click on the history and actions journeys, this is then really the operational data of your machines in the past. Just to conclude, on the left, you also have some functionalities, which is mainly filtering functionalities. And also, you can adjust the map-based view of the system. You can choose between different kinds of maps, for example, whatever you prefer as a visualization here. Then on the right-hand side again, we have still some key data, a summary of the core data. We have the amount of vehicles which are currently active. And we also have the amount of time which the vehicles have been active today. And on the bottom, you can see the total mileage of all your active machines during the live view, which is actually the day. Good. As I said, I think first of all, we would like to focus on the live monitoring of the machine. So we have, of course, a lot of machines going around here, and you see already our Swingo has been driving around quite a lot today. And you can, for example, the different colors indicate different activities. So you see here, for example, the blue lines, they are indicated as when the customer has been, the demo driver has been driving the machine, and the green ones here is actually when the demo driver has been sweeping these roads here. And you see actually he has been quite around the block, I would say, so it's probably very clean if we go behind our, our station here. This is, of course, I mean, that's very helpful if you would like to really easily distinguish between different activities. And as I said, you can do that based on this color coding of the different activities. This can also be done, of course, for our other equipment, so not only for the Swingo, which we have here in Lahr, equipped with IntelliOps, but you can also do it with airport machinery, and you can also do it for the winter maintenance, of course. As I said, you can see the vehicle location. In this case, it's parked here. You see, for example, if your driver is on track, if he's going on the right routes. You can see also, as I said, the activities which are being performed, being it sweeping, salting, spraying, unloading or loading the hopper. And you can also see a lot more data than this.
Seems to be a great advantage for operation control. But I think there is more, right?
There is more, actually, yes. So as I said, I think I wanted to show two functionalities today. The second functionality is the historical operations data, which you can evaluate with this tool. As I said, I think if you cannot measure it, you cannot improve. And so especially in these days where our customers, as I said, are faced also with topics like emission reduction in the summer maintenance, in street cleaning, or then also the salt reduction in the winter maintenance, a good database is really key for doing that. And IntelliOps offers many different reporting tools which can really also help you to achieve those goals which I just mentioned. So if we click here on the History tab, on the Actions and Journeys, then we actually can select a date, a time range where we would like to look at the activities of the machine. So now we have yesterday and today. We click on the Next button here. And then you have one sweeper in action. If you have more than one sweeper, of course, you would also see different sweepers which you can select. And so we go to the next page here. And then you see a lot of different journeys. And we can now click on the Show button. We zoom in. And then you see again here what the activities of the Swingo were in the last 2 days. So quite a lot of activities, if you see, like going around the block. We have now here also, if you see on the left lower side of the system, you see a button. And if you click here, you get directly into the so-called Journeys report. And this is really, you have all of your data which you need in here. So you see on the top, there's again a core summary of the core data. You see how many machines were active, how much time the machine has been sweeping in the time frame you selected. So here it was 46 minutes. You see that the productivity, so the amount of time the machine has been sweeping versus driving. You see the total fuel used by the machine, so 5 liters in this case. And you see an average fuel usage per hour as well. You can, of course, there's a lot more data than that. You can, if you scroll a little bit down, you can see the details of each journey in a table format, which you can also extract. Sorry. And if you scroll very much down here, you have also some different visualization tools, which you can then use also, for example, for internal reporting, in case you would like to showcase a little bit what the machine has been doing. So we have here, for example, the productivity, as I just mentioned, 74% of the time the machine here was working, and 26% of the time it was driving. So the productivity is in that case 74%. And if you look into the middle, you again also see the activities which have been performed, which is then the work. The machine has been, of course, sweeping the entire time then. On the right-hand side, you see the average speed of the machine, also quite useful. And if you would like more information than that, if you would really like to also go into individual rides, you can also do that. So you click here, you have the different journeys which your machine has been doing on the top again. You click on one of those, and then you see again really detailed what time has what activity been performed. You see also the table again, and you see, of course, for example, also here the fuel data over time which the machine has been using. Again,
a cool feature if you are in charge of operations control. what I didn't get yet is what does it really bring to a city or a municipality contractor? Can you tell us how effectively that benefits the user?
Yes, of course. I mean, there's different use cases for such a system. So what we hear a lot that our customers actually get approached by different parties. So they get approached and they need to confirm that they have been doing the maintenance of the streets, of course in winter and in summer. And so I was visiting, for example, a customer in Switzerland some time ago, and those customers, a municipality, they get approached often by the police in case of accidents. And basically the police calls them to check if the roads in the winter maintenance have been salted. And of course, with such a system, then it's very easily that you go in here, you look at the time frame which the accident happened, and you can prove very easily, as I said, that the roads have been salted before. So that's a very typical use case. A second typical use case we heard from a summer maintenance customer. So their customer reported that one of their sweepers was really driving around to 80 to 90% of their time. And so it was driving but not sweeping. So of course, if you then engage with your driver in these discussions, you can really easily also pinpoint that you can improve the efficiency by adapting the way you drive and sweep over time.
That's indeed a great advantage. The Swingo is now coming in. That would now be the moment to have such a talk, isn't it?
Exactly.
Exactly. Benedikt, I'll get back to you in a minute, but before I do so, welcome Miriam. Miriam Fröhl is our Customer Excellence Manager, and she will tell us a bit more on our V-Protect solutions. And in case you wonder what V means, V stands for vehicle, so everything that protects your vehicle, your equipment, hence your investment. Miriam, please.
Thank you very much, Thomas. A very warm welcome also from my side. I'd like to take the opportunity to present to you our new product line, V-Protect. We have standardized our after-sales products internationally in order to ensure high quality all over the world. In this session, we would like to focus on maintenance contracts, extended warranty, and on our 360 check.
What are the advantages of such a type of product?
Look, our machines are working devices, so by nature, there is wear and risk of damage. This fact puts time-critical operations of our customers at risk. That's where our V-Protect products come into play. Regular maintenance prevents you from unexpected downtimes. Your cost becomes transparent, predictable, and the residual value of your machines will be significantly higher in the future. And we should not forget the most important thing, safety for your drivers.
Safety is indeed the most important thing, I assume. Getting back to the products, perhaps you can explain a bit more about the difference between a maintenance contract and a full service contract?
Of course. The base maintenance contract contains all activities according to the operations manual. And the full service contract additionally contains some repair service and optionally some wear parts such as brushes, for example.
And I assume for those who don't know exactly where and what to do, we still have the checks.
Of course. Our new product, the 360 check, is an in-depth diagnosis about the condition of your machine. Potential problems can be detected before they occur. Our technicians thoroughly check about 130 points on your machine. They bring in their experience of many years.
How does that work specifically in practice?
We systematically inspect the machine step by step. In the preparation phase, we evaluate the log files of the machine as well as its history. That gives us some indications where to specifically focus on during the checks. Then we continue with the safety check. You can imagine if the transportation logs, for example, were not in good condition, it becomes very dangerous for drivers and also for servicemen. Then we inspect the machine component by component. We start with the engine over the electrical system to the hydraulic functions.
And at the end, the customer, what does he get out of it?
The customer receives a detailed status report of the condition of his machine and, if necessary, a recommendation what to repair or to refurbish. It prevents the customer from bad surprises. You can imagine, like on a day like this, you never think of snow or, but one day you will need your spreader and plows and you want them to work the day you need them. You don't want to bring them to the service that day. So it's very important to think ahead and take care of your machines. The 360 check also contains the official UVV test in Germany that plays a very important role in accident prevention. And of course, we also address safety and health regulations in other countries for machine operators. I'll put the sticker on the machine when it's checked.
So, all good. Thanks a lot, Miriam. That was interesting. Hope it could ease the one or the other process and challenge in the upcoming years. The Swingo has gone now again, and to put it bluntly, as we've just heard from Miriam, prevention and maintenance is better than cure and repair, and definitely a good thing in terms of operating cost. And talking about cost, I think, Benedikt, it's about cost with your next point as well.
Yeah, of course. Cost is always a topic, as we know. There's one more product which I would share with our viewers, and that is the so-called the Aebi Schmidt Route Manager. And this is also a tool to really optimize your operations, so to reduce the salt for the winter maintenance, reduce the emissions in the summer maintenance by optimizing your routes. And if you now focus again here on the right-hand side on the monitor, you see the route manager, and you see also the same map-based view as you would already know from the IntelliOps system. On the left, just to explain some functionality again, is really the core of the system, so that's the creation and the editing of the routes. And as we have seen before, you can also adjust the map-based view. For example, here in the route manager, it makes a lot of sense to go on a satellite-based map to really see in reality how the map looks like and also how the routes look like. And that can really also help you in creating or editing the route. On the top, you have the so-called the file manager as a tab, and this is where you can actually manage the list of your routes. And especially for the larger cities where they have a lot of different vehicles, they have a lot of different shifts, so you have quite some routes to maintain. And this system can also really help you to keep track of that routes. And we have actually prepared one route today for the Swingo in Lahr. So if you click on top here, we click on the file manager, and then we see already the demo route here, which we can then open, and then we can see how this route looks like in reality. So here, if we zoom in a little bit, you see the starting point as a traffic light. You see the different editing points here along the route, and you see also then the final flag. That's the end of the route. And it's really easy to also adjust that route. I can click here on the top to make it editable, and then you can push and pull wherever you would like the route to go. So it's really easy to also create and edit the routes. One more functionality which I would like to explain and highlight is the so-called navigation points. So navigation points are here, for example, one arrow in blue. And that's a really cool functionality where you can give the driver some voice-based instructions when he's in the vehicle and passing that exact navigation point. So of course, that can be navigation points. We have some, for example, now turn to the right, but that can also be very much a custom-made command you would like to give to your driver at that point in time. And then again, I mean, the question is how does the route send to the vehicle? And that is also quite easy. You click on the file manager again, and then let's send this route here to the vehicle, simply select copy. And of course, you can also send not only one route, but you can also send a full list of routes to the machines. And now I suggest we roll a video that we actually can look like how it looks for the driver in the machine. So the driver actually accesses the control system, and then he can see a new route for downloading, and then he can click on the download button. And then next step is basically to select then the route from a long list in case you have more than one route. And then as a last point, basically the driver can drive then the route with a navigation function which is in the control system. And as I mentioned before, you can, once you pass these navigation points, you can then really hear the voice-based instructions from the route.
Thank you, Benedikt. In real life, most of the managers have an assistant. I know that there is a route assistant as well. Can you tell us a bit more about that route assistant?
Yes, of course. Happy to do so. So since it's midsummer, I think it also makes sense to talk about a little bit of the winter equipment. And the route assistant, as you already mentioned, that's an automated spreading assistant for our winter equipment, so for our spreaders. And the real benefit of that system is that the driver can concentrate on driving, while all the spreading parameters like the width or also the dosage are adjusted automatically based on pre-recorded information. And so what you do in practice is you once go a route, and then you record the information about the dosage and the width, so the spreading parameters. And the second time, then you go this exact route. The control system knows what to do, and the driver can then actually concentrate on driving instead of moving around and adjusting the spreading parameters. And what we really hear from our customers regarding salt reduction, which we mentioned a couple of times, is that with a system like that, up to 30% of salt reduction are realistic targets, actually.
That's quite a lot.
Definitely.
That was the thing about cost, as I said when introducing to that feature. Thanks a lot, Benedikt. To summarize, it's about optimizing your operations. It's about reducing emissions. It's about resources. And if we first go on the left to IntelliOps again, on the left side, you see what you get from data and connectivity to the route manager, asset management, down to maintenance. But that's basically not that much important, because more important is what you can do with it. And as Benedikt has showed us before, first of all, you need to measure, and you can measure with our IntelliOps and digital solutions. Then you can improve and reduce your emissions, and of course also save salt and other resources you use for your operations. On the other side, on my right, we have the service packages and contracts. Again, different options what you get, and on the right it's primarily to avoid unexpected downtime. Nobody of us likes unexpected downtime, and to have transparent cost, and also it's quite a lot, and not least about safety. So we hope to have given you an overview of how you can improve your operations with more than just your machines. And now I suggest we see what our viewers has been asking. Miriam, please join us again. I quickly need to check the question funnel. Here we go. Quite a few questions. Either we haven't been clear in explaining, or they're really interested. So one of them may be true. And I see a bit more about VProtect, Benedikt. So let's start with VProtect. Dusan is asking it's a very good, clever. What's my advantage if I go to Aebi Schmidt for service?
Of course, we have a lot of experience with our own products. And what is very good as well, we have so many servicemen all over the world, and we have a lot of research and developers doing their work on the products. So all the new things we know about it flow directly into the product. So that's very helpful, and it's always being up to date.
Cool. Makes sense. Emil is asking, that's pretty concrete. Where can I order a 360 check?
wherever you order all your services, you can always contact your salesman, but also your serviceman. They both can support you. If you're not customer with us, then please go on our homepage. We have a lot of locations all over the world. Please have a look which one is close, and we are going to help you.
Again, Emil, I guess it's the same. Probably he's asking if the 360 check is automatically conducted when he brings his vehicles to the service?
No, it's an additional product. However, when you bring the machine to the service, we can also directly conduct the 360 check.
Thank you. Benedict, so that you need to say something as well. IntelliOps is, for example, a question I know you hear quite often. I know the answer. Can I integrate vehicles of other brands in IntelliOps?
Yes, yeah, good question, of course, and that is, in principle, of course, that's possible. So we have already quite a fleet of other producers in our system, IntelliOps. So depending on your individual setup, there's different data which we can provide in the system. And so we need to look at the individual setup you might have, and then we can, of course, manage to integrate also the vehicles from other producers. Huh?
Good. That question came from March. Antoine is, thanks God, asking in English and not in French. We have already a fleet management system in place, and sorry, we're happy with it. Who do I need to contact if I want to integrate my Schmidt spreaders?
Oh, yeah. Of course, they'll also reach out to our sales managers. They can then also connect you to our product management staff. So, of course, that is possible. We have also customers who have their own system in place, which they're happy with. And there, what we can provide is a so-called API. So that's a data exchange between two systems, which is automatic. And that works quite well. So you can also integrate all the Aebi Schmidt machinery into your own system. And as I said, you can. It's an automated data exchange. You can either push the data, so we can give you the data all the time, or you can also, with your system, pull the data and then receive it from our system.
Sounds pretty flexible.
It is.
Anything goes. That sounds good. That's what we want to hear these days. Next one, I think we go back to Miriam. From Michael, what are the preconditions to conduct a 360 check at my place? Because we do the checks mobile, of course.
Of course. There is actually not too much you need for that. Covered workplace would be great, and the cleaned machine, actually. If you have a vehicle lift, it's always great, but we don't need it to conduct our check. So,
Mikhail, I'm sure you managed to fulfill these preconditions. I don't doubt a second. That is a funny question. Brian is asking if we use original spare parts. Of course we use original spare parts. That's one of the advantages. Sorry, I can answer that question myself.
That's okay. That's okay. I can confirm he's right.
And perhaps another one, related to the mobile checks. Do you perform the checks on premise, or do I need to bring the sweeper?
Both is possible. We can come to your place, but as well, when you bring the machine to our workplace, that's also fine.
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you also, Benedict. I'm looking to the time, and time is up. I hope you have heard a few interesting facts and features which you didn't know before, and which trigger now the interest to learn more, to have it explained in detail, to have it perhaps also shown in detail again. If you want so, then please do so. Aebi Schmidt is present in 17 countries with an own service and sales organization. In over 90 countries, we're working with long-term established partnerships. If you type in your location on www.aebischmidt.com, we're sure that you find a contact which is near to you. The presentation which was prepared by Miriam and Benedict will be made available soon for review in full length, and that brings us to the end. Thanks again for the interest, for having participated in this particular session on service packages and digital solutions, but also during the entire day at the Aebi Schmidt Demo Days. We hope to see you soon again. Goodbye.